Hi everyone, I am JT Pilot and today we'll be making another video. This time I'll be covering how Injumon should change their 1/400 scale release strategy in the year of 2024. So I'd like to welcome everybody to this new year, and this is my second video for 2024. So Injumon's had 2023 output for mile 2023 mile output was kind of meh in my opinion. Yeah, really great releases for U.S. collectors and Chinese collectors, but the rest of the world kind of didn't really get good releases, and the models have kind of gotten really repetitive and yeah. So NG's 2023 output had a lot to be desired. So hopefully 2024 they'll improve their output with this video. So this video did win a poll on my Instagram account, which I did a few weeks ago, asking you guys what video I'd like to see the most, and this video overwhelmingly got most of the votes. So here you go. This video is coming in fruition. This is one video I've wanted to make for quite a while. I've also been frustrated with the releases. Even as a US collector, I'm just tired of getting the same models every single release. So we'll be talking more about that in today's video. So I'd like to welcome everybody to this video. Let's get started. So in this video this video will cover my main criticism for NG's 2023 output and how they should resolve their criticisms. This video will also include my 2024 um wish list for NG, not model wish list, this release wish list, I should say. And I'll be making another perfect NG release at the end of this video, which a lot of you enjoyed the last video I made of that. So I'm making another one at the end of the video just to give an example of what a perfect NG 2024 release is with these criticisms in mind. So here's the gist of this video. So these are main concerns of the current NG releases: repetitiveness of releases, lack of retro models prior to 2000, not releasing unique models compared to peers, poor usage of molds, and ignoring key regions of the world like Europe. And the questionable fantasy models, and NG not releasing enough unique airlines. The first criticism of NG's releases are the repetitiveness of releases. Do you want 3 different 747s of an airline that ceased to exist? NG got you covered. So NG has a habit of releasing every single combination of an aircraft, like releasing 3 different swoop 747s in December, uh, releasing every possible Russian Tupolev Tu-204 and Tu-214, releasing every Qatar or British Airways 777 possible. I did give some examples of this here, so we got the free swoop 737s, a bunch of Qatar 777s. Luckily, NG has stopped releasing Qatar recently, but I still want to include that as an example of NG. Just NG's repetitiveness with releases. They just love releasing Qatar, so it's pretty annoying. And then the Turkish 777s, they released a bunch of these, and all these Turkish 777s are basically the same, just they're slightly different. I don't get it. So NG may release aircraft based on different registrations, wing configurations, or stickers, or any other minor difference, and this is just annoying. These releases may satisfy one collector who's picky about registrations, but these releases clog up releases with boring aircraft taking up real estate for nicer and more unique releases. How to solve? NG should either just produce one version of the aircraft or do a re-release of the aircraft a few years after when demand has returned for a model. So a good example of this is the Delta A321. NG released one in 2020, and it's been 4 years now, and they probably should do another release of the Delta A321CO because it has a pretty good demand, and a lot of collectors have been wanting a re-release. Another example, this is the Southwest 747-800 in the Heart livery. The first one was released in 2020, and they did another one in 2022, so that's a pretty good gap of re-releases. That is what NG should do, instead of just releasing free swoop 747s in the same month. Like, come on. There's no need for that, especially if an airline that ceased to exist, so yeah. Main concern number 2 is where are the classic models? And I define classic as models prior to 2000, and I used Yesterday Airlines definition for that. So, and I do fully agree with this. So, classic models, in my opinion, are models from the 20th century. They're not ones from the 21st century. 21st century models, in my opinion, are just, I don't know, nostalgic models. So I don't know what to call them. Just, I guess retro. They're just retro models. They're not classic, but they're retro models. And I'm talking about like the 2000s models and the early 2010 models, models in like an in-between period. And NG should do more of those as well. But yeah, but back in the good old days of NG had tons of diversity in retro releases, but now NG hardly ever releases retro/classic models, with maybe 1 out of the 40 models being a classic, and the chances of it being a unique one's lower as well. So I made a little diagram over here of what NG thinks is classic. So concerningly, the NG vows the current year 2024 is the year of classics, but the places they label classics are hardly even retro. As there are aircraft that were recently retired or still in service, like this Lufthansa 748. So NG labeled these two releases as their classic collections with the Lufthansa 747-8 in the retro livery and the Air China A330-200. This Lufthansa livery this aircraft is still in service in this livery, and this livery was from the 2010s. Not that really classic. Then this Air China A330 it's a 2008 model, so it's borderline, not classic, maybe like a retro model. It's not really a classic scheme. It's not anything like these guys. This is what I think. These models are what I think are classic from NG. A Delta L1011 or a British Airways 757-200 in the Landor livery. These are classic schemes. They're bare metal. You could say they don't have winglets. Or just models from the 20th century. These are classics, and retro collectors really enjoy these. And retro collectors believe it or not, retro collectors are a big proportion of more scale collectors. Think about it. Older people have more money and they just like to buy models, Maybe they were a pilot of an aircraft or they just loved aviation ever since they were a little kid and they just love collecting models. I know a few people in my life who are collectors, including my grandpa, so I just had to say it there, but there's a lot of older collectors out there, and NG kind of neglects that. It's not just young collectors, and I am a younger collector, and I do mainly collect younger models, but I like getting these classic models every once in a while. They're fun. Some of my favorite classic models from NG are like the American 777 or the Peter Max 222. Those are some great classic models. They're borderline classic, but yeah. So and then another diagram I put down here is NG's 757 output in just November 18 versus all 2023. Bear in mind, in 2018, NG didn't have as many molds, but this just proves to you that NG had a much better classic model output in 2018-2019 than they do now. And nowadays, they release the 757s, but they do not even classic aircraft, like the United 757-200s in the Hurricane California livery, Cebu Pacific 757s, and then Aerogal 757s. These aren't even in the 20th century, so there you go. So how should NG solve this issue? They should apportion at least 10 to 20% of the releases to retro models prior to 2000, and using their new molds and their older molds, using L1011s, 757s, MD80s, 767s, 747s. So, yeah. Then NG should perhaps relabel the classic models in their classic collection that are after 2000 to a different label. This causes less confusion. That's what they should do, and then there you go. Then collectors know that NG knows what is a classic. So, because right now a lot of collectors have doubt and that NG knows what an actual classic model is, and they're kind of concerned that the classic models in 2024 will just be not really classic models, Yeah, that's like saying an Alaska A320 is a classic model, So, there you go. Speaking of Alaska A320s, we got one on this slide. So, main concern number 3 is NG releasing models that others have already done. Even though NG molds are mostly superior to others, I think about all their molds are superior. Maybe a few are weaker. NG has a tendency to follow in the footsteps of Gemini jets, JC Wings, and Phoenix especially. So, I gave a few examples here. So, the Air India A50 has been done by will be done by Gemini, JC Wings, Phoenix, NG, and Aviation 400. The Azul A350. This is another model that's been done by NG a few times. Aeroclassics, JC Wings, Phoenix, and AV400. The Alaska A320 has been done by NG several times, Gemini several times, Aeroclassics several times, and Panda models. So how NG should solve this? NG still release some highly anticipated aircraft like the Final 747 or maybe even the Air India A50s. Fine in my book, but these are aircraft that people will buy no matter what. Then the NG should mainly focus on releasing aircraft that others haven't done, like a Frontier A321neo, some retro MD80s that haven't been done before. And you'll see more of that later on in the perfect release part of this video, where I'll go over that more in depth. Next portion of this video, main concern number 4 is poor mold usage. This is one of the main gripes I have with NG's releases as a recent. NG's releases recently have poor mold usage. NG has several molds to offer, but they only really use their A320s, 737s, 777s, A330s, and 787s. Bear in mind, these are the most popular aircraft right now, but they just don't really use their other molds, and if they do use their other molds, they either choose to do really niche aircraft types like the Airbus Beluga or Chinese Comacs, and NG, if they choose to use their unique / retro molds, they will choose to do either modern aircraft or on retro molds. Models that other manufacturers have done milking one retro aircraft scheme like the Pan Am and ANA L-1011s, or doing boring slash Russian military aircraft. Yeah, boring. I should say boring slash Russian boring Russian slash PLA military aircraft. There you go. Like the Russian government 2+. These are just annoying. And the Russian slash Chinese Air Force Tu-154s. There's so many airlines that operate those, but NG's like, yeah, we're not gonna release them. So yes, they could do like a Balkan Tu-154, but they choose to do Chinese slash military models. And if NG decides to release more L-1011s and 747SPs, they will choose to re-release old models instead of making new schemes, like I said earlier. How to solve this? NG should use at least most of their molds per release and do some interesting such unique models of each of their molds. So maybe just even at least as one of each mold would be good for collectors. So yeah. And NG's releases are already huge, so they could accommodate all their molds in one release. You'll see that later on in this video. Main concern number 5 is ignoring key regions of the world. So NG Models has released a lot of long-awaited North American and Chinese models. Europe and the rest of the world has only received a small portion of models. Collectors are angry and demanding more diverse sets with more geographic representation. So I took some Instagram comments here. There's lots of these comments with people not being too happy. And this was from NG's recent release post. So this one Instagrammer right here, he said, "Hello from Europe, we're still here." All American and Chinese from another comment. And the last comment, Canadian, American, Chinese Airlines again. Next puff, European, African, such European Airlines, question mark. So yeah, European collectors aren't too happy, and they're very vocal about it. Yeah. Yeah, in their defense, that they don't really get a lot of good, actually good quality releases. They do get a lot of releases from JC Wings, and Phoenix, but their molds aren't as good as NG, and NG could do a lot of good releases for European collectors, like doing some EasyJet aircraft, Ryanair aircraft, Aegean Airlines aircraft, more Air France and KLM narrow bodies, just stuff like that. There's so many models that NG could do. And you'll see that later on in this video. So how to solve this issue? NG should at least apportion somewhat equal portion of releases towards each continent slash region of the world. Like doing we'll say like 10-20% for like North America, South America slash Central America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Oceania slash Australia. Main concern number 6 is fantasy models. So NG Models in 2023 has released a lot of pointless fantasy models like clog up spaces and releases. Even though these models may seem fun to make, they just take up release space and they're just tedious schemes. The level of 787, it's just not good. BSA Cargo is not even a realistic scheme at all. Then British Airways Land Trip 7 this is a pretty cool model, but there's so many other models that NG could do than this. So how to solve this? NG should stop releasing fantasy models or just make another sub brand that covers fantasy models. There you go. And the sub brand that doesn't impact NG's production output. Next concern, main concern number 7, where are the unique airlines? This is really frustrating from NG. So, one, better quality models of airlines that others make. NG got you covered, and this is true. NG likes to release some mainstream airlines every month, like Southwest Airlines, Delta, British Airways, ANA, Qatar, American Air China, China Southern, and others. And yet, everybody else does these releases, and this is the same old airlines, but we need some more unique airlines. So how to solve this? NG will still release these common airlines, but release some more unique airline livery combos. Examples: Frontier, EasyJet, Aegean, Sun Express, JetSmart. This would be good modern releases. And then a variety of airlines that collectors been wishing for. NG, just look at the wish list on the model airliner forum and the diecast aircraft forum. There's so many requests from individuals for models. And yeah, I did make like a on the MAF forum my own thread for the NG model wish list. There's so many models on there, NG. Just look at that, and yeah, and people. Yeah, that's where people's biggest requests are. You can just tell, it's just like, it feels like they're just ignoring that, Just look, it's NG Models, just look at it. At least NG Models as a manufacturer is open to criticism, unlike others, Gemini Jets, but, yeah, NG should just look at that, so. And then they should just do more niche airlines with little representation, and one point like Air Jamaica or Air Tanzania, so there you go. So here's my personal hopes for NG in 2024. A good usage of NG's new molds like their 767s and ND80s. I didn't plan on buying a few of those. And the 747 classics. NG releasing some more classic models prior to 2000. NG releasing more unique models. Yeah, so no more swoop 747s, British Airways 777s, or Qatar 777s. And NG checking out collectors' requests like a Frontier for 21 Neo. My main requests from NG in 2024 are the Frontier for 21 Neo, Southwest Nevada 1, 738, the California 1, 738, United A319, A320, and the MAX 9 EVA Blue livery. Those are my main requests. And those would be good US models they could do. And yeah. So that is it for this first portion of this video. Let's move on to an example of a perfect NG 2024 release. So let's zoom on in here. So yeah, so starting with my NG Perfect 2024 release. This release has 47 models, so it is a big NG set, but NG likes doing 47 models, so might as well release some good stuff. So starting with the Max mold, we got the Allegiant Max A200. Allegiant has yet to take delivery of this aircraft, but by the time the NG gets around doing it, they'll probably already have it in their fleet, and the restoration will be November 812, November Victor. So that's a good release. Has never been done before. Probably Gemini will do it, but NG's mold is better. The SK Air Max A from India. This has never been done before, so that'd be a good unique model NG could do, and give some India some representation. Aerojet Max 8, another model that hasn't been done before. Air Classics might have done it before, but their mold is this poor, so yeah, but that would be a great release for NG to do. Next one, Air Tanzania Max 9. This is a new aircraft that is recently delivered to them, and this model has never been done before by manufacturer. United EVA Blue Max 9, as I alluded to earlier, in the EVA Blue colors. What a great release that NG could do. The Scandinavian Airlines went 747 to 600, so see how I'm using most of their molds, besides the really niche ones, and it's just good geographic representation. We already got United States, India, Dominican Republic, Tanzania. Now we got we got Scandinavia here. So the Scandinavian region, because SES Airlines covers a few different countries like Denmark and Denmark and Norway, those kind of countries. So yeah, so those would be great releases there. Moving on to our next one is the Aveo 747-700. Another great US release, and I hope to see from NG soon. The Luxair 747-700 from Europe. Another great release there. They represent European collector. Represent Europe. These models have never been done before. Delta 747 in the Delta Flight colors. Another good retro release, and NG hasn't released a lot of retro 747s recently, so good release. A Japan Airlines 77 a good Japanese release. Seeing a lot of requests for this one. A Sterling 747 another retro release, and a European release. So kill two birds with one stone there. The Southwest 747 Nevada 1 livery. I personally put that one on there, but that's a good release, and that's a good special livery. Notice how there's not a lot of special liveries. From what I've seen, what collectors have been wanting, they don't want special liveries. They just want standard liveries for aircraft. Because you're more likely to see this at an airport than a special livery aircraft. Moving on to some 747s, we got a Lufthansa 747-200 in the polished livery. Phoenix have done this aircraft recently, but we all know their mold is poor, so an NG release would be fantastic. Then we got the Cathay Pacific 747-400. A lot of requests for Cathay Pacific, so that included in this release. A Korean Air 747-8, another model I'd buy. Then we got some retro 757s. NG really hasn't been using their excellent 757 mold recently. NG could do an Aero Peru 757, a Finnair 757 in the 90s livery. That's been requested a bunch. Or a Song 757. They could do that. And I did include all NG's new molds they've recently announced, just because this video is future-proof for 2024, because a lot of these molds we'll see this year. So, the 767 Piedmont Airlines, that'd be great 767-200 release. Air Classics have done it, but the NG's model will be simply superior. NG could do a British Airways 767 in the Chelsea Rose livery, a Martinair 767, or a Delta 767-400 in the SkyTeam colors. These three 767s are great retro releases, and this is a release that hasn't been done before. 777s. NG could do a United 777-200 in the Battleship Grey colors. They could do a 777-300 from Singapore, just a 90-yard example. A lot of requests for that one. And an ANA 777-300, another model that's been done a bunch before, but it's been a pretty good request. The NG 777 mold is fantastic. So, yeah, notice how I'm not using a lot of the same molds. I'm just using like one or two of each mold in this video. So just to prove that NG should have spread out their molds throughout their releases and have just more diversity. This is a lot of diversity here. We already got Singapore, United States, Netherlands, Finland, Peru, Korea, South Korea, Cathay Pacific. I mean, not Cathay Pacific, Hong Kong there. Yeah. Again, Japan, Luxembourg, and yeah, Dominican Republic and India. So, diversity, lots of it. And we got some 77 shades, Kenya Airways and Jetstar, two models that I haven't done in quite a while, and these are just unique airlines. We're adding Australia and Kenya to the party. Got some Airbuses here. We got an Air France A318, good European release, a Latam A319, EasyJet A319. All these have been requested before. A Solomon Airlines A320 for our Australian friends. And we got a Tianjin Airlines A320 Student, so a Chinese model there. This isn't some sort of special delivery, so there you go. We got a Volaris A320neo. That'd be a great Mexican release. I'd definitely buy that one. Canada Jetland's another model that has yet to be made. So that's a good release for NG to do. Definitely would buy it. We got a Turkish Airlines A321. Turkish Airlines Airbuses have been highly requested from European collectors, so I just had to put one in this video. A Frontier A321 Neo, my number one requested model there. JetSmart Airlines, that'd be a good South American release. I like JetSmart Airlines. I might have to buy one just because they have animal tails as well, so that'd be a cool release for NG to do. Only Air Classics have done it, so nobody else has. That's kind of the theme. So Air Classics have done like niche models, but their molds aren't really as good, and NG can just make them simply better. So there you go. Got a few A330s. We got a Qantas A330. This one's been done with Gemini, but an NG mold would be far superior. And the main reason I put on this video, not because it hasn't been done before, just because I've seen a lot of requests for it. Then we got Uganda Airlines A330 Neos that represent NG's A330 Neo mold. Everyone has already released most of the A330 Neo combinations, but Uganda Airlines will be a cool release for NG to do. Something unique. Then some A340s. We got a China Eastern A340 and an Air Mauritius A340. Some cool retro A340s there. Next up, we got a World 2 Fly Airbus A350-900. So that'd be a cool Spanish A350. And we're moving on to the non-Airbus Boeing aircraft. So we got two Lockheed L1011s. We got a Sri Lankan one and an Eastern L1011. This model I would definitely buy. And this has been highly requested by retro collectors. NG have yet to do it. So there you go. Moving on to some 2+. Unlike the last time we did this video format, there's no 2+. So this video did include two. We had Tupolev Tu-154 from Balkan Bulgarian Airlines. That'd be a great release. Seen a lot of requests for that one. And a Karas Air Tupolev Tu-04. It is a Russian aircraft, so we're representing Russia as well. But this is not really a repetitive Russian aircraft because this one hasn't been done as much. And to end off the video, we got a few MD-80s. So we got a Continental Airlines MD-80. It hasn't been done before, I do believe. A Republic MD-80 in the Herman scheme, and the Air Jamaica MD-83. And the last model in this video is a Comac Air J21-700 from Transnusa Airlines, and this is an Indonesian airline. Surprisingly, NG hasn't done it yet, so we gotta represent the Comac mold in this video as well. So look at that. There's the perfect release for 2024. We're using all the molds from NG. We have released it from all 6 continents of airlines. I'm not including Antarctica because they don't have any airlines there. So we're using all the continents. We're using most of the molds. I didn't use some of the most niche molds like the Max 7. Only Southwest operates that. I can't really do one for that. Or the 747-900. About everybody's already done 747-900s for each airline, so I didn't want to include another one. It just clog up space. The 747 Classics, I do want to put. I wish I could have put more of these in this release, but I had trouble finding requests from individuals for those. I know they're highly in demand, but yeah. But I just put the Lufthansa and the Cathay Pacific. The Cathay Pacific one I've seen a bunch. So yeah, but other than that, this video has about all of NG's molds. I didn't include the rest of the 787s. They've all been done by everybody else. Same thing with the A350-1000. So and the A350-900 Neo, but the gist of this perfect release is this including this NG's molds, at least using one of each mold, not including the variants. So there you go. So that's it for the perfect release portion, and that is it for this video. So tell me in the comments below what you'd like to see from NG the most in 2024, how you would change NG's release strategy, and yeah, and tell me in the comments below what you guys think of this video overall. So I'm JT Pilot, and I'd like to thank you all so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful day and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.